I want people to know that in 2023, I did try and bring the situation to light, and a lot of people remember, I was having a lot of... It got so bad that David's legal team had got in contact with me to remove everything.
Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the pain, and things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys.
No one was ready for what surfaced today. Not the fans, not the insiders, and definitely not the people closest to them. Because the moment this footage hit the internet, everything shifted. The energy, the narrative, the entire story people thought they knew. Gone, erased in seconds. And what's inside this clip isn't just surprising, it's unsettling. A whisper here, a glance there, a moment that shouldn't have been recorded, but somehow was. And now, everyone is asking the same terrifying question. If this is what leaked, what else is still being hidden? Stay with me, because the truth behind this footage is darker than anyone expected. It started long before the footage ever leaked. Long before anyone realized something was shifting between d4vd and Celeste. People close to them had felt it for weeks. That strange quietness in the air, like a storm waiting for the right moment to strike. At first, it was little things. A fan who met them backstage swore that Celeste looked shaken. She said, "I don't know what happened," but she kept checking her phone every few seconds. Like she was waiting for something she didn't want to see. Nobody believed her. Nobody wanted to. But then came the night everything cracked. An insider, someone who worked on the tour, claimed he overheard Celeste whispering sharply into her phone, "You promised this would stay between us. If this gets out, it ruins everything." The voice on the other end? He says it sounded like d4vd, but different, colder, calculated, like he wasn't afraid of whatever she thought was coming. And that was the first clue that something bigger and much darker was happening. Fans began noticing the tension too. During a live performance, the chemistry between them, usually effortless, fell off. People said d4vd barely looked at her. Celeste tried to smile, tried to pull the energy back, but his eyes kept drifting somewhere else, almost like he already knew a secret she didn't. A fan tweeted, "Something's wrong. They look like two people pretending to be okay." Behind the scenes, the pressure was building. According to someone in the dressing room that night, Celeste confronted him. Her voice cracked when she said, "You can't keep doing this. You think people won't find out?" And he just replied, quietly, "They'll find out eventually. It's better if it comes from me." That moment, those words, became the seed of everything that followed. Because right after that argument, something strange happened. A flash drive was reported missing from their shared studio room. No one thought much of it until hours later when whispers started spreading about a clip, a small, grainy video that showed them in a moment they thought was private. A moment that, if seen out of context, could completely twist their story, maybe even destroy it. A crew member who claimed to have seen the footage before it leaked said, "It wasn't just a conversation. It wasn't just tension. There was something in d4vd's voice, like he was warning her, like he knew something she didn't." And Celeste? She looked devastated, frozen, as if she had just heard the kind of truth that doesn't just hurt, it rewrites everything. That's when the fear kicked in for both of them. d4vd was quieter. Celeste avoided everyone. Another insider said she spent an hour staring at her phone with tears in her eyes before whispering, "Why now? Why would he do this now?" Meanwhile, online rumors spiraled. Some people claimed the footage exposed betrayal. Others insisted it proved there was a hidden fight, a broken promise, or something even worse. But the one detail everyone agreed on? Whoever leaked it did it intentionally. Because the timing was too perfect, the angle was too deliberate, and the audio, clearer than it should have been, felt like someone wanted the world to hear every word. But the most chilling part? The clip cuts off right before the moment everything changes, intentionally, almost surgically, leaving behind a single burning question. What happened in the part no one has seen yet? And more importantly, who's trying to control the story before the truth finally breaks? The leaked clip was only the beginning. What came next wasn't an accident, it was a calculated strike. Because within hours of the footage spreading online, a second file started circulating. This one a series of screenshots that no one could verify, but everyone feared were real. They were messages, private messages, supposedly between d4vd and someone whose name was blurred out. And the timing, the tone, the desperation in Celeste's eyes in that leaked footage suddenly made too much sense. One message read, She's starting to ask questions. I can't keep lying to her. Another said, once it drops, there's no going back. You know that, right? Fans went into full meltdown. People began turning on each other, arguing non-stop. Some insisted it was fake. Others said the timestamps matched too perfectly. But behind closed doors, inside their circle, the betrayal was becoming impossible to ignore. Insiders said Celeste confronted him again, this time not with fear, but with anger. Her voice wasn't soft anymore. You told me this was between us, she snapped. You swore. And d4vd didn't deny anything. He just looked at her and said, if I don't do this now, it's going to be worse later. You know that. She stepped back, stunned. Worse for who? For me or for you? That question haunted everyone who heard about it, because by then, whispers had spread of a third person involved. Someone in the background, someone neither of them ever wanted to be linked to again. A name that insiders refused to say out loud, and fans couldn't stop trying to guess. People began digging through old interviews, deleted posts, backstage photos. Anything that hinted at a pattern, a timeline, a reason. And then came the voice note. No one knows who leaked it. No one knows how it got out. But it was real enough to send shockwaves through every corner of their fan bases. The recording was short, barely 10 seconds, but the damage it did was irreversible. Celeste's voice, trembling. I trusted you. You promised me you were done with them. And d4vd, quiet, almost whispering. I thought I was. Those 4 words. I thought I was, were enough to ignite a wildfire. People began accusing him of manipulation. Others accused her of hiding something too. Still others believed the missing part of the leaked footage, the part that cut off, held the real answer. The truth no one was allowed to see. Even their team began fracturing. One manager allegedly told a friend, if the full clip drops, it's over. For both of them. Another insider claimed they were trying to negotiate with whoever had the footage, offering money, big money, to keep the rest hidden. And yet, every day, new crumbs surfaced. Tiny hints, a blurred image, a half-heard quote. Then came the most brutal twist. A screenshot appeared showing Celeste's messages to someone saved as "Do Not Contact." The texts were emotional, frantic, unfiltered. He said he forgave me. He said it didn't matter anymore. Why would he do this now? Nobody knew what she was talking about. Forgiven for what? What didn't matter? And if he forgave her, why was he the one leaking things? Fans started saying the fallout wasn't just one betrayal. It was 2. Something she hid. Something he hid. And somewhere in the background, a person who knew everything and wasn't afraid to let the truth bleed slowly into the world. And the most frightening part? Insiders said the person leaking these pieces wasn't finished yet. Someone wanted the world to burn before the full clip came out. Someone who knew the one thing that could destroy them both. The part of the footage that still hasn't been seen. What happened next didn't just break the internet, it broke them. Because at the very moment people were tearing each other apart online, arguing over theories and screenshots, the full, unedited audio from the leaked footage finally surfaced. Not the video, just the sound. A shaky, raw recording that someone clearly held onto for the perfect moment. And from the very first second, everything people thought they knew flipped. It started with Celeste. Her voice wasn't angry the way everyone imagined. It was cracking, almost pleading. You told me you ended it, she whispered. You told me there was nothing left between you two. And then came d4vd's reply, steady, tired, defeated. I did end it. But they didn't. There was a name in the original audio, a name someone edited out before leaking it. A name fans had guessed but never confirmed. A name tied to their past, to the reason the "Do Not Contact" messages even existed. The moment that name hit the raw audio, thousands of people listened again and again, trying to understand how deep this fracture truly went. But the recording didn't stop there. Celeste said, "You should have told me." And he fired back, "You should have told me first." That silence after those 7 words, that breathless pause, felt like the world stopping. Because suddenly it wasn't just d4vd hiding something. It wasn't just Celeste feeling betrayed. It was both of them, carrying secrets they thought would stay buried forever. And whoever leaked the files knew all of it. Within hours, a new DM surfaced, this time from an anonymous account claiming to be the original leaker. The message said, "They lied to each other. They lied to you. This is only part of the truth." Fans were furious, confused, hurt. Some defended Celeste. Others defended d4vd. Most felt trapped between two stories that didn't match. But there was one more twist, one final hit that sent everything spiraling. A short voicemail, timestamped 2 weeks before the footage. d4vd's voice, low, shaken. "I can't keep pretending this didn't happen. If she finds out the real reason I walked away, it'll destroy her." People replayed that line thousands of times, dissecting every word. The real reason? What reason? Why wasn't it in the footage? Why wasn't it in the messages? Why wasn't it anywhere? Celeste didn't stay silent, either. Insiders claimed she broke down after hearing the voicemail. "He thinks I don't know," she whispered to a friend. "But I do. I knew before he did." And that single sentence cracked open an entirely new truth, because it meant Celeste wasn't blindsided. She wasn't innocent in the way people assumed. She had her own secret, the one she thought she hid perfectly, the one she never expected to collide with his. Hours later, a final file appeared. Just one image. A blurred still frame from the missing part of the footage. Two silhouettes, standing closer than friends, closer than collaborators, closer than anyone expected. And suddenly, everything fell into place. The betrayal wasn't between d4vd and Celeste. The betrayal wasn't between them and the mystery third person. The betrayal was that both of them knew pieces of the truth, but neither dared to say it out loud. Fans begged for answers. Theories exploded. Teams scrambled. And yet, the leaker stayed silent after that final drop, leaving behind one chilling message. If you think this is the end, you haven't seen the last 3 seconds of the clip. And those 3 seconds, still unseen, still hidden, left a shadow over everything. A shadow that neither of them can escape. A shadow that still waits in the dark for the moment the truth finally comes out. And now you see how deep the cracks really go. Two people caught in a storm they both helped create. A final image that changed everything. And 3 unseen seconds that could destroy what's left. But here's the truth. This story isn't finished. Not even close. Because insiders are already whispering about another leak. A call, a message, something recorded the night after that confrontation. And if what they're saying is real, it might finally reveal who the real betrayer is. If you want to hear the leaked call, comment for the next video. If you think this story ends here, wait until you see what just dropped into my inbox. This might be the end of one chapter, but what happens next changes everything.